What does it do, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Scotty Says. I am your host, and welcome to episode 129. 129, my folks, and welcome to October in the Deuce 5. And I have often made the case that October may very well be the finest sports month of the entire calendar year. Because think about it, in October, well, postseason baseball is underway, and hey, the Dodgers are, well, they're on their way to defending their world championship, and so go Dodgers. And then, well, basketball's about to tip off. And my Lakers, I have high hopes for my Lakers this year, as I normally do, but this year I've got a really good feeling about what might be on tap. And so we're now in the preseason for Laker ball, and so that's very exciting. But right now, what we are gathered here to discuss today, this episode, well, it is about the quarter pole now of the NFL season, and the voyage of the SS Ram ball is well underway. And now, 5 games down, about a third of the way through, just shy of the regular season, and well, the Rams sit at 3-2, and I had hoped they would be 4-1 at this juncture. And well, I'll be honest with you, I predicted that the Rams would get to the bye at 5-2, and that is still a distinct possibility. It just may be that they get to the 5-2 in a little bit of a different way than I had initially foretold. I thought the Rams would probably take that L against the Eagles, and they did, and that was a disappointing game, and we chronicled that last episode, 128. It was an epic episode about the Eagles' loss. And so this episode, 129, well, this is the annual double episode. It is the episode that follows a Sunday game and then a Thursday night game. And so this year, the Sunday game was the Indianapolis Colts at the Palace in Inglewood, and that was followed by, well, it was followed by them damn Niners and Father Shanahan. And so we'll get back to that a bit more in the second half. But let's start our examination of the Rams at this stage of the season. Let's start with the Colts game. Now, I expected the Rams would defeat the Colts, although it has turned out the Colts have proven themselves early in the season to be a fairly worthy opponent. And I also expected that the Rams would be able to handle them damn Niners. I thought they'd split with them on the season, and well, I thought they'd get them at home, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But the Colts game. The Colts game proved to be quite interesting in its own right, and, well, it had its share of frustration, and regrettably, I have to report there was another level 1 McSquander, and we'll have to outline what happened in that sequence. We'll get to that. But the bottom line, the main thing is the Rams managed to pull out the dub. They came away with the win. And you know it is a zero-sum game. L's and dubs and L's. Which one did you get? McWonder got the dub against the Colts. But when you go inside the game with more analysis, you see that, well, there were troubling signs. Now, bear in mind, the Rams, well, they just came off a demoralizing, debilitating loss to the Eagles in Philly on that blocked field goal that would have won the game and ended up going the other way for a game-cinching touchdown. Ouchie. And so, coming on the heels of that, you wanted to see the Rams respond with purpose and vigor. And the energy was there, but, well, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it. Let's do an abbreviated game analysis, Rams and Colts. Now, we had the same starting lineup for the Colts game as we saw the week before against Philly. And so, Avila still out. You had Dedic in. And other than that, the lineup, everything else stayed the same. Now, Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes, whatever you want to call him, the Colts quarterback, they got the ball first to start this game. And, well, pretty much right away, Indiana Jones, let me introduce you to the Inglewood poltergeist strike right out the gate. And so the Rams do convert that turnover into points, but there was that troubling pattern of the Rams again struggling to convert red zone touchdowns and having to settle for field goals. And so we saw it here yet again, although in this case, Cardi was hardy and the Rams took the early lead. Now, I want to point out here that Kyron Williams, and Deuces to a lesser extent, up until this point, which is game 4 in the season, these backs have been getting the coach about 5+ yards per carry when you average it out. And so you are getting quality yards per carry from both your running backs at this stage of the season. And so part of my frustration with Coach McWonder has been that even when the ground game is clicking, percolating, he goes away from it. He will abandon the ground game, this you know. And so this has been an ongoing source of frustration. And so, as you know, I've come up with a recipe, a formula it was designed to help McWonder it was designed to give him the foundation, the groundwork by which he could turn some of these losses into wins. You know, he went through a rough patch after the Super Bowl, that 5-12 season, and I wanted to help the coach. And so I came up with this formula from studying, research, scouring the NFL books. And what I discovered, what I found was that when you run the ball a minimum of 25 times, 25 design runs, and when you curtail, when you cap, when you restrain your quarterback to a maximum of 30 pass attempts, when you use that specific, particular formula, the 25-30 principle, when you employ it, you never lose. You never lose. I found it and I told him, I sent this to the coach via the YouTube airwaves, and I said, here it is, coach, use this. You can beat your father. Because his father Shanahan, he was schooling McWonder time after time, like Cyndi Lauper, schooling him. McLauper, time after time, he kept beating the boy Wonder, and I said, no, this can't stand. This can't go on. We've got to figure out a way to turn the tide. And I sent him the formula, and I warned him. We'll get to father in a bit. But what I've seen is that when Mr. McWonder employs my 25-30 principle, he never loses. And when he doesn't, when he goes back to his unbalanced ways, well, against the better teams in the league, he takes a lot of L's. L's he doesn't have to take. Don't you see? And so here it is now. You have Indy, and so it's the pattern. We see this recurring pattern with the coach. And so I say all that to say your running backs are averaging over 5 yards a pop. Exploit it. I came up with an acronym, LSBYG. I call it less big. Let success be your guide. If the backs are eating at 5+ yards a pop, keep running them. Well, we saw that in the Indy game. The backs are eating 5+ yards a pop, but, well, McWonder deviates. He eschews the ground game. And this is the source of this level 1 classic McSquander. So let's go ahead and outline it here. So let's go ahead and examine an example here. All right, after Indy has tied the game at 3, LA back with the ball. K-Will averaging about 6 yards a pop. The Rams come upon a 4th and 1. Okay? 4th and 1. The coach decides rightly to go for it here. You got to play with 4 downs in the modern NFL. You know, it's 3 and out and all these punts. You got to be able to steal possessions in the modern NFL. And so he rightly decides to go for it on 4th and 1, but we saw the same pattern in the subsequent game against them damn Niners. 4th and 1. Yes, go for it. He's right to do it. Yes. But the play call. Oh, the play call. Well, let's start with the Indy game. It's 4th and 1. Yes, I agree with the decision to go for it. Yes. But the play call. McWonder, what is the play call? Do you remember? Going way back, there's been a lot of football since the Indy game. 4th and 1. McWonder goes for it. What's the play call? He gives the carry to the mummy. The carry goes to Matty Stafford, the mummy. Matty goes absolutely nowhere. Turnover on downs. Now again, I point out your running backs getting you 6 yards a pop. It's 4th and 1. You're going for it. Right decision. Give him the ball. Oh, it's a quarterback sneak to an immobile quarterback. The mummy gets nothing. Turnover on downs. See? But I'm not going to put him on the McSquander report or the McBlunder list. Not at this stage. Not at this juncture. But I described that sequence as prelude to give you context. So let's move forward in the game now, shall we? It's 10-6 Indy. There's 2:14 left before halftime. And finally, LA, McGenius, Matty, the Rams, they put together the drive of the season for this offense. It is a splendid drive. It is superb. It is sublime, magnificent, sparkling. And so this drive, the 2-minute drill, 2 minutes, 7 seconds of clock, 96 yards, 13 plays, touchdown, Davante Adams, touchdown Rams, and the Rams go into halftime with the lead, up 13-10, and the Rams look like the better team on this day, but score is tight, and we've seen this before, just the game previous. The Rams go in at halftime and come out and lay an egg and get overtaken and run out the building. So the Rams, it is incumbent upon them to finish the Indy game strong. So the Rams get the ball to start the third quarter. They got a 3-point lead, and McWonder and the offense comes out running. Holla, hallelujah, somebody. And I'm like, yes, that's the action. That's what we need, McWonder. But in the course of that drive, on a second down run play, Puka gets caught up blocking in that wash, and he has to go out with an injury. And Puka has over 100 yards at this point early in the third quarter already. And so on a 3rd and 6, no Puka in the game, they misfire, incomplete, and they have to punt the ball. And so what follows next? Well, you could say it was some bird brain behavior on the part of Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell, I believe it is, the wide receiver for the Colts. I mean, it was a spectacular play. He makes the reception. He cuts to the sideline. He's shaking tackles. He's spinning. He's tightrope walking the sideline all the way down. But on the way, he switches hands to extend it in exultation and jubilation, and he bobbles it. The ball comes loose as he's crossing the goal line. That's not a touchdown. That's a touchback. And so 7 points come off the board for the Colts. Ouchie. And so the Rams have to feel extremely fortunate that they're not down. But they get the ball with the lead. And Puka's back, and Matty hits him right away, but the drive stalls. So Indy will get the ball back. Well, the Rams defense, they have been up to the challenge now. And so, again, the Rams defense stiffens. They force the Colts into a 3-and-out. And the Colts had only had 1 3-and-out before that one the whole season. And the Rams would force consecutive 3-and-outs. The Rams defense already introduced Danny Dimes to the poltergeist of Inglewood. The Palace poltergeist on the loose. And so this was the Colts' first turnover of the season. And so that Rams defense is to be recognized. But here, now, Rams get the ball back, and here I've tried to show great restraint with Mr. McWonder. I've been quite lenient, I think, and so at this point, I have no alternative. I'm forced. I am compelled. I must now highlight this next sequence, and I'm afraid I have to report this sequence will qualify as a McSquander. Classic level 1 McSquander. The Rams have the lead. They have the ball. What do? Do they run the ball? The running backs are averaging 5+ yards a pop, either one of them. Do they control the clock, control the game, impose their will, give Shane Steichen a good dose of his own medicine? Do they do any of those things? No, not Mr. McWonder. Mr. McWonder comes out throwing. You know his tendencies. You know his proclivities. You know his idiosyncrasies. And so Puka, he gets one. It's 2nd and 3 now. Matty throwing again, and well, play action, but they don't bite, and Matty gets pummeled, grazing on SoFi turf. And so You're getting your quarterback pummeled unnecessarily. It's a big hit that Matty is taking, and it's a big loss on the play. And so now, instead of a 2nd and 3 after the first completion, you're looking at a 3rd and 11. I don't understand why the coach won't run the ball during this sequence. But with it being 3rd and long, well, you know what he's going to do. You know he's throwing. So McWonder, with the ball in the lead, goes chuck it for 7, and then he goes pass, play, sack, grazing, and then that's a loss on the play. And then on 3rd down, chuck it again, incomplete, 3 and out. I mean, essentially no time has come off the clock. The clock has not moved. Chuck it. Ball going back to Indy. See the pattern? We see it time and time again. I call him McLauper. When he does the same things, I call it bird brain behavior. And so here it is yet again. And so I must, in this sequence, elevate this to a classic level 1 McSquander. I'm not going to put him on the McBlunder report this game, but I must elevate him to a McSquander here. It's a 3 and out at a critical juncture in the game. And so this is game mismanagement on display. I think Coach McWonder needs to contact Aflac or somebody about game mismanagement insurance and see how much the deductible is, because he needs a policy for game mismanagement. Jake from State Farm, maybe holler at him since he's always running around with the athletes. Contact Jake, Coach. You need a policy. But now we turn to the 4th quarter and, well, Indy still trailing with the ball. Shane Steichen, he puts together a beautiful drive, beautiful mix of pass and run, balance, and they go down and put 7 up on the board, cash it in. And so with 11 minutes and about 30 seconds remaining in regulation, Indy now has taken a 17-13 lead. But then on the ensuing LA possession, Indy, the defense blows up the run play. They blow up the play and affect the handoff, and Hurricane Will coughs it up. Fumble, ball out. Indy recovers. And this would be a premonition of what would follow in the next game. But LA's defense is able to hold Indy out of the end zone. They restrict them to the field goal. And so now Indy is up 20-13 with about 9 minutes left in regulation. Then LA's offense would put the finishing touches on this game. Puka would end up scoring a touchdown to tie the game at 20. And then the game winner, 2-2 with a big back-breaking, game-winning bomb, 88 yards over the top, touchdown, Rams, touchdown, 2-2, touchdown, LA. And LA will go ahead and pull out that dub against the Colts at the Palace in Inglewood, 27-20. Whew. And so let's go ahead now and give out game balls. Game balls. I want to give out a game ball in the Colts game to Matty from the D, Matthew Stafford. Matty, 29 of 41. We'll get back to that. 375 big yards, 3 touchdowns. Matty, game ball, sir. I also want to give out a game ball to Puka Nacua. And the soup, the brew, the broth was working on Sunday for the Colts game. That Puka Te Tutu, that was in full effect. against the Colts. And so Puka, 13 catches, 170 yards, 13 plus yards per catch, and a touchdown. Puka, game ball, sir. And then I want to give a game ball out on the defensive side. Let's give out a game ball. Game ball. Cam Curl, 3 solo tackles, 6 assisted tackles, and 2 poltergeist strikes. Cam Curl single-handedly introduced Daniel Jones to the Palace Poltergeist 2 times. He said, "Let me introduce you to Polty." And then he said, "I don't know if you met him earlier. Let me reintroduce you to the Palace Poltergeist." And so, game ball, Cam Curl. Also, honorable mention. Let's keep it on the defensive side. Honorable mention to Quentin Lake. Leading tackler on the game, 5 solo tackles, 4 more assists. And honorable mention, V8. Darren Vers, 4 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles, and a sack. Grazing Danny Dimes was on SoFi Turf. And so that really segues us very nicely into the numbers. Let's apply my 25-30 principle and see how it all shakes out. Well, you already know. Matty, he had 41 pass attempts, plus he was sacked 3 times. That's 44 dropbacks. And then on the rushing side of the ledger, K. Will, only 13 carries. We talked about that. Deuces only had 9. So 22 design run plays. So McDubb way over in pass attempts, 44, and short in rushes, 22. That's a balance differential of -22. -22, McWonder. That's a recipe for failure against quality teams. Now, you were fortunate, Coach, against the Colts because, well, Mitchell bird-brained a short touchdown, and then, see, the Colts, they didn't play like a disciplined good team. They made too many mistakes. They made more mistakes than the Rams did, for sure. The Colts had 3 turnovers to the Rams 1. The 2 poltergeist strikes, plus they lost a fumble. They were penalized 11 times, 11 penalties for damn near a football field worth of yards. And so when you combine 11 penalties and 3 turnovers and a touchdown wiped off the board, well, you see how Mr. McWonder can get away with being a -22 balance differential. Let's quickly look at the losers, the Colts with the L's on their head. Let's look at their numbers. Danny Jones, 24 of 33, 262, touchdown, and 2 poltergeist strikes. Plus, he was sacked twice, so that's 35 pass attempts. They're over. Shane Steichen is over. And let's look at the rushing. Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries, 76 yards. It's a yeoman day's work, but well, they only had 3 other design runs. That's a total of 20 carries. So they were over in pass attempts and under in runs, just like the Rams were. Both sides missed both metrics. And so when that is the case, you go to the tie-breaking metrics, and well, turnovers is a massive one, and so you see how that went down. So now let's turn to the second half of this episode. It will be an epic, as you can probably already guess. Let's look at Thursday night football. LA Rams, them damn Niners coming to town, and well, it puts me in the mind to sing the occasion of Father Shanahan coming to town, well, it puts me in the mood for a little song I wrote, and it goes a little something like this. He knows just how to beat you. He knows your weaknesses. He knows because he wrote the book. He knows past happy is. Oh, you better watch out. You better duck down. You better stay low. I'm warning you now. Your father, Shanahan, he's coming. Your papa, Shanahan, he's coming. Your dada, Shanahan, is coming to town. He knows when you are passing. He knows when you play fake. He knows that you eschew the run, so beware. For goodness sake, oh, you better watch out. You better duck down. You better stay low. I'm warning you now. Your dada, Shanahan, he's coming. Your papa, Shanahan is coming. Your father, Shanahan is coming to town. He came and he did what Father does. And you know, just as an aside, Father Shanahan and I have one thing in common. We both have a son named Sean. Shout out to my son, Sean. Ah, McDub. So, well, I told you last episode that Philly loss was particularly galling. It stung like, few others have in quite some time. And now, well, this one, the loss against them damn Niners, this one was even worse than the Philly loss. Yes. Oh, yes. The Rams at home, 8.5-point favorites against a depleted, dilapidated, decimated 49ers outfit. Quarterback Brock Purdy out. Kittle out. Ayuk out. They didn't have Bosa. They out. Everybody's out. Rams, essentially, the Rams are at full strength. Well, Havenstein was out, and Higbee was out, and, well, Avila's still out. And so, McClendon and Dedich, and the Ghost, they replaced those three in the starting lineup. But essentially, the Rams had a golden opportunity to take advantage of a depleted 49ers squad, and yet, them damn Niners and them damn Niner fans and Father Shanahan and the backup quarterback McCorkle Jones, no, not Mac, and Run CMC, I'm calling it the law offices of Mac and Mac. The two Macs just were too much for the Rams, apparently. And it was disturbing to see. And well, let's just go through it. Let's look at it now. San Francisco, they take the opening drive straight down the field, no resistance, with ease. 7-0. 7-0 San Francisco. And the raggedy red-clad Niner fans are already beside themselves, right? And then LA's opening possession was just as raggedy. I mean, it, you know, there was jiu-jitsu. Shelton, he's stepping on Matty's foot, and he's stumbling and bumbling, and then, you know, there's all these missed opportunities. I mean, two was wide open, and Matty just flat, missed them. Just, and so the Rams have to punt, and then the Niners get the ball back, and then they do the same damn thing again, essentially. I mean, it's 14-0 Niners before you could even get your beer open. And so now, already in a big hole, I'm worried, I'm concerned, because I know Mr. McWonder's proclivities. I am well aware of his idiosyncrasies, and so, you know, down 14-0 to your father, I'm thinking he's gonna panic. I know how he does. He's gonna get tight, and he's gonna blink and twitch, but he didn't. He fooled me. He stayed the course. He kept his composure, and above all else, he ran the ball. Yes, down 14-0. Coach McGenius was resolute with the run. So much so, in fact, I was up yelling and screaming at the TV. That's what I'm talking about, Coach. 5 consecutive run plays. Do you hear me? 5 consecutive runs, and the Rams are marching, and K. Will's gouging them, and Deuces is gouging them, and it's 5 consecutive run plays. Driving the ball, running it down the damn Niners' throats. 5 consecutive run plays, including a sequence where he handed it to K. Will on first down, and he handed it to him again on second down, and he handed it to K. Will again on third down. I was like, what? Look at the coach. I couldn't have gone down there and whispered in his ear any better. I couldn't have diagrammed it up any better than what he was doing. And after those consecutive runs, it left him a little short of 4th and 1 or thereabout. And I'm thinking, give it to him again, run it again. And he did. McWonder did it. He gave it to him again, and he converted it. First down, 5 consecutive runs, and then Deuces comes in, and Deuces, he gets a run, and then on the 6th consecutive run, Matty with the pitch, a perfect pitch, right to Deuces. No, Deuces, he coughed it up, fumble, ball out, ball out, and them damn Niners recover. And I'm like, damn. And I'm thinking, you know, it seems like the football god's not with McWonder and the Rams today. The Gremlins are out, it seems like. All these little gremlin-y type things keep taking place. And, I mean, for Corum, for Deuces to just completely botch that pitch and cough it up and give the ball to the Niners where the Rams were driving like that. Oh, it's so demoralizing. And so McWonder was doing the right things, but, well, his running back, in this case, Deuces, he let him down. He betrayed him. And so now, them damn Niners with the ball, and I'm like, where is the Rams' vaunted defense? I've been bragging about this defense to anyone who will listen, but why is McCorkle and the Niners running up and down and through the defense like this? But fortunately, the Rams' defense forces a punt, and the Rams get the ball back, still down 2 touchdowns. But now, just as I feared now, Coach McGenius has ceded his play calling to Mr. McWonder. And Mr. McWonder has grown weary of the run game. Mr. McWonder wants no parts of the run game. Mr. McWonder wants to chuck it. And after the last drive of almost exclusively running the ball, we see the polarity. The bipolarity. We see the switch. Coach McGenius, Dr. McGenius, Mr. McWonder. And so now you see the idiosyncrasies. There you see them. And so from all run, now he's flustered and frustrated, and he's trailing, and he's sick of the run game, and that's it now. And it's going to be, well, it's that old condition, pass happiest. He's got it. And, well, this drive exclusively in the air. All in the air. Chuck it, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it. Well, Tay gets some action, and Puka gets some action, and Whittington, he gets in on the fun, and Tyler Ferguson, he gets a little bit too, and in the end, K. Will catches a little swing pass out in the flat, and he prances in, touchdown Rams, and the Rams are on the board, 14-7, and maybe that's when Mr. McWonder took Dr. McGenius hostage and told him, I won't hear from you the rest of the day, sir. And maybe in his psyche, the coach thought, I've tried to do this the way Scotty says. I've tried to employ balance. I've tried to establish the run, and it got me nowhere. And now I went strictly 100% chuck it, and look, I'm in the end zone 14-7, and maybe then and there he said that's the way this is going to be the rest of the day. But then Mac and C-Mac go to work in that last little bit of time before the half, and, well, they managed to drive and get into field goal range, and so at halftime, 17-7, San Francisco, them damn Niners with the lead. And I'm thinking, damn, LA is essentially getting no pass rush on McCorkle. And, these gremlins keep biting, keep snipping at the Rams. But, hey, it's 17-7, and the Rams get the ball to start the second half. And, well, McWonder, he's throwing. He's coming out throwing. Well, Matty, he's navigating the pocket, steps up, and he throws a pass for Cousin Allen. And Cousin Allen made a nice little circus catch to pull one down. Go ahead, Cuz. And then, Matty, he, on a third down, he hits K. Will with what would have been a sure first down, and K. Will just flat out dropped it. Just dropped it. And so Cardi is called upon, a 52-yard field goal, and Cardi is not hardy. The kick is wide right, way off, not even close. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. See what I mean about the Gremlins? K. Will drops a sure first down that would have kept the drive moving. And instead, they settle for the field goal, and Cardi just flat out shanks it. Misses. And I'm starting to think this is not going to end well for the Rams today. So San Francisco, well, they drive in the field goal range yet again, and their field goal is good. And so it's 27 San Francisco, and McWonder, he's feeling that twitch. And so he comes out throwing, of course. He's chucking now for sure. And so, Puka gets one, and Matty checks down the deuces. The pass goes right through his hands. I'm like, what's up with the running backs today? Deuces. And I think McWonder was kind of pretty much done with deuces then and there after that drop pass went through his hands. And so Puka, he got another one then, and now that's 5 passes in a row, and then it's first and goal from the 8. K. Will picks up 5, second and goal at the 2, and then it's a quick pass to Puka. Puka takes it the rest of the way. Touchdown, LA. Puka, touchdown, Rams. And now the score has tightened. Now it's 20-14. Rams trail just by 6. And so finally now the LA defense is starting to stiffen, and they force San Francisco to punt. And now the Rams get the ball back from their own 12-yard line. And of course, McWonder is throwing, yes. But it's the fourth quarter now. It's 13 minutes or so left in regulation. It's a 6-point game. And I wonder, Matty throwing 4 consecutive passes now. 4 consecutive passes that set up a 3rd and inches, and they give K-Will the rock there for the tote for the first down, and then 3 more consecutive passes. So they, you have to look at it. It was the only run was just to get that first down to keep passing, right? And so now it's 1st and goal at the 7, and of course Matty's still throwing, and it's a pass for the ghost, and almost was a poltergeist on Ghost crime. That pass was damn near picked risky business down there, but incomplete. It's incomplete. Okay, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal. Swing pass. K-Will dancing, prancing, touchdown. Touchdown Rams. Touchdown LA. And now it's 2020. And look at that last drive. Look at that last drive. On that last drive, there were 10 plays. 9 of them were passes. The only run was that 1/3 and inches to get another set of chains. 9 out of 10 passes. And they pay it off. Touchdown. 20-20 now. The extra point puts the Rams ahead for the first time all game. Finally. And Cardi in for the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick is it's blocked. Oh, Cardi! Blocked! They have blocked the extra point. Cardi, what the hell is going on with the kicking game? Cardi blocked in Philly, cost the Rams a victory, a dub. Now here again against them damn Niners, the extra point to put the Rams ahead, blocked. Oh, damn, 2020 and another Gremlin bite. Maybe the worst Gremlin bite yet, but it ain't over. Gremlin's just all over McWonder's ass. And this, this is when I really thought it's too much to overcome. All of these Gremlin bites, plus the fact McWonder has abandoned the run game, when you combine it all, I'm like, I had a sinking feeling like this isn't going to end well. Wasn't I right about that? But at this point in the game, it's 2020, right? It's not over. There's still a lot of game left. Oh, boy, because there's more Gremlin bites to come. Okay. The game's not over. It's 2020 at this point. And the LA defense has really started to give San Francisco more trouble. And so the defense forces yet another San Francisco punt. And so the Rams offense gets the ball back again. And McWonder, he's throwing yet again. I mean, bear in mind, the game is tied. There's 8 minutes, a little over left in regulation. It's 2020, but it's all air attack now. So let's look at the sequencing now. All right, let's underscore this sequence. The game is tied 2020. There's 8 minutes or so left in regulation, and the Rams have the ball. But McWonder has eschewed the run. He knows that you eschew the run. So beware, huh? And so here it is. Let's look at it now. Rams with the ball. First play, incomplete pass. Second play, complete to Tay, short of the sticks, 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, Matty is in the gun, incomplete pass. Incomplete, short of the sticks, incomplete, punt. How many times have we seen this sequence? Chuck it, punt. Chuck it, punt. Chuck it, punt. Chuck it, punt. And so I have to highlight this sequence with 8 minutes left in regulation and the game tied. 3 passes The clock stopping with the incompletions. Hardly any time elapsed, and San Francisco gets the ball right back. And for this, I must give the coach yet another classic level 1 McSquander. Second game in a row now. Sunday to Thursday, back-to-back McSquanders. And here it is in the fourth quarter of a tie game on Thursday Night Football against them damn Niners. And so, after the McSquander, as if the football gods wanted to drive the point home, San Francisco drives to within field goal range, and their field goal kicker, Pinheiro, brutes one. 60 yards. 59 yards is good. No problem. 23-20 San Francisco now with the lead. Now, just 2 minutes and 52 seconds left in regulation. LA with the ball down 3 from their own 35-yard line. And, well, you know, McWonder and Natty are throwing. Puka gets a little action and Tay, and then there's a defensive holding penalty on top. And so now the Rams are moving the ball. They're at the San Francisco 31, and then wonder of wonders, surprise, K. Will gets a carry. And it surprised me, and it also appeared to surprise the San Francisco defense. K. Will carries for 20 down to the San Francisco 11-yard line. And now it's right there in reach. And from the San Francisco 11, McWonder calls a consecutive run play. Oh, my. And then there's another penalty on the defense on top of that. And so it's first and goal at the 3. It's first and goal at the 3 in the game. The victory, the dub, it's right there to be had. And so, first and goal at the 3. Just under a minute in regulation. And I'm thinking, McWonder, you got him on the ropes. Hand the ball to your tailback. Hand the ball to K. Will. Let him finish the job. Give him the rock, McWonder. And he does. It's as if he heard me, McWonder. He gives K. Will a rock, and he finds a seam, and he's going across the goal line with the game-winning touchdown. And no. It's a peanut punch. It's A. Collins, 95. He swings with an overhand haymaker, and he clocks K. Will in the jaw, and you see his head turn. And the follow through from the punch lands right on the ball, and the ball's out, coughed up, fumble on the goal line right before he crossed over. And K. Will has coughed up the game-winning score. And I'm like, oh, no. I mean, at that moment in time in the game, I felt like my stomach was in knots. And I felt bad for McWonder because he did the right thing. He went back to the run, and look what happened to him. And I felt bad for K. Will because I know how much he cares, and I know how much it torments him, but it's a thing. I mean, I have been of the opinion that it's not a thing, this K. Will fumbling situation. Other people have said it's a thing. I'm like, it's not a thing. It's just every now and then. But, my folks, it's a thing. It is a thing. And now that's back-to-back games with a fumble, and it's the magnitude of this fumble, the time in the game, the repercussions, the ramifications of the fumble. And I mean, you saw the camera cut to K. Will sobbing on the sideline, but it's like, man, you know the gravity of what you have just allowed to happen. And just as an aside, I mean, I give 95 Collins, Alfred Collins, I give him his credit. That was a game-saving, as it turned out, game-winning play that Peanut punched that ball out. But I have a question. At what point do you penalize somebody for punching the guy in the head? Can you punch a running back in the head and then when he hits the ground unconscious, you say, that's a fumble? Give me the ball. At a certain point, you can't just punch a guy in the head and then in the follow through knock the ball out without there being a penalty. He punched him in the head. Boom! You see his head turn this way and then the ball pop. I'm not going to make any excuses. You got to hold on to the ball. They pay him a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars to be able to hold on to the rock, and he's got a fumble issue. And the more you fumble, the more it gets into your head. And the more other people think, oh, we can get the ball out on this guy. And it feeds on itself. And then you erode the confidence that your coach has in you. You see, Deuces didn't come back in the game after that last drop pass, but he had a fumble earlier. McWonder's running backs let him down. And that's why I'm not going to put Coach McWonder on the McBlunder report this week. There were McSquanders, to be sure. But this, more than anything else, in my opinion, was a failure of your personnel. And I'll say, in McWonder's defense, the errors, the personnel glitches, probably caused him to get out of whatever game plan he may have had. And so his hand was forced, and I'm going to give him a pass on the 49er game for the other stuff. But his tailbacks, his running backs let him down. There's no other way to put it. And I'll give McWonder credit because after the crushing, devastating fumble at the goal line that would have won the game, the Rams defense forced a conservative father to punt because, they had the ball at the 1 yard line. They forced the Rams to burn all their timeouts, but they kicked the ball right back to the Rams, and the Rams had one last opportunity with just seconds left. And, give the Rams credit. Give Matty credit. They got the completions they needed when they had to have them, got in the field goal range, and I'm going to tell you right here and now, when Cardi came on for that game-tying field goal in the last seconds, I had a lump in my throat. Because you just don't know what is going to happen. Will he kick it? Will it get blocked at the line? Will he kick it wide right or left? Will it hit the upright? He made it. He made it, and the game goes to overtime. And, in overtime, Matty and Fred Warner are out for the coin toss. And I've been telling Matty, tails never fails. But, Fred Warner is with the visiting team, so he got the call. Fred Warner hollers heads. It's tails. Tails never fails, Fred Warner. So, Rams win the toss, but because of the new overtime rules, they've done the calculus and they decided defer. Kick the ball to them damn Niners. And them damn Niners put up a field goal. San Francisco puts up the field goal in overtime. It's 26-23. San Francisco, and the Rams now get a final possession to either lose, tie, or win. And that set up the big 4th and 1. The Rams had made their way, as you know, to a 4th and 1 situation. And, sure, the Rams could have kicked the field goal on 4th and 1, but that would have tied the game. And that is operating under the assumption that Cardi would have even hit it. He might have came in and shanked it or got it blocked, and they lose right then and there. So, yes, they could have kicked the field goal on the 4th and 1, but I agree with the coach. It was the right move to go for it on 4th and 1. And I agree with the coach as well in his assessment of what happened on that 4th and 1 play. It was the right decision to go for it, but it was a bad decision in terms of the play call. And what I had hoped that McGenius, known for his offensive guru mastermind capabilities, I had hoped he would have a play drawn up just in such a scenario. 4th and 1 when you gotta have it. You know what I was thinking, my folks? In the moment, I was thinking, oh, I know the perfect play call right here. Send Puka in motion and then have him reverse his motion, and as soon as he crosses Maddie, do a quick handoff and let Puka hit the seam and first down. That's what I was thinking. But, it's been pointed out that San Francisco had the box stacked and they were playing the run, and so maybe that wouldn't have worked. Maybe the answer would have been Maddie doing some type of a little bootleg and a short out. I don't know, because none of those things happened. What happened was, as you know, on 4th and 1, our favorite head coach, McGenius, decided to run a standard run play, and what's more, he ran the play over the right side of the line, which you got a lot of upheaval over there with Havenstein out. And, well, as you all know, and needless to say, the play got blowed up and stuffed. And the game ended right then and there, and McWonder said he was sick about it. He said it was a bad play call, and he felt sick that he had put his team in that position. And I do get that, because it wasn't a good play call, but I don't fault McWonder for this one. I feel like maybe he fell on his sword for his guys, but I feel like your personnel really let you down. The defense was weak in the first half. No pass rush. They couldn't seem to get off the field. And then the running backs, as I've outlined, they betrayed him as well. All the mistakes. The kicking game is in a shambles with Cardi, and so all of it conspired. All of it resulted in Father Shanahan sunning little McWonder yet again. Rams lose to them damn Niners, and all them red-clad damn Niner fans just frolicking and partying like it's 1999. So, there you have it, my folks. Another epic episode. Let's go ahead very quickly and look at the numbers. Very quickly. Let's look at the numbers. Well, as I mentioned, Maddie, 30 of 47. 47 plus a sack. 48 pass attempts for Maddie. Way over. Jeez, McWonder. But at least the running, did you try to come close to balance? No. K-Will, 14 carries, 65 yards, 4.6 a pop. Blake Corum, 1 carry, 13 yards. A total of 15 run plays by your running backs. 15 runs, 48 passes. That's a negative 33 balance differential. You're not going to beat Father like that, Coach. Now, Father was a little out of whack himself. Father had Mac Jones throw the ball 49 times. McCorkle was 33 of 49 for 342. Wow. 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once, so that's a grand total of 50 pass attempts for Father. Wow. That's way too many, Father. What about the run game? Well, there you see it. Father, 29 run plays plus 4 QB runs. That's a total of 33 carries. Father was over on the passing, and there wasn't overtime involved, so you have to factor that in. But his balance differential was only a negative 17 compared to McWonder, who was a negative 33. McWonder missed both metrics. Father was over on passing, but he had the required rushing attempts, and so he hit one metric, missed one, and of course he got that ass. He got the L on McWonder's head yet again. And so, my folks, when you look at the numbers, really the Rams outplayed the Niners statistically wise. The Rams had more total yards, more passing yards, more rushing yards. They averaged more yards per play by 2 full yards, 2 yards plus. They had the same amount of first downs, but the Rams had a better third down percentage. And the problem came in. San Francisco had 19 more total plays than the Rams ran. And San Francisco had no turnovers. The Rams lost those 2 critical, crucial fumbles. Them damn Niners dominated time of possession 40 minutes to 26. And so in the end, when you sum it all up, there you have it. Yet again, them damn Niners come to town, Father, sonning little McWonder once again. And so the Rams dropped to 3-2. Next up, the Baltimore Ravens. Well, the Ravens are 1-4. 1-4. And I thought this would be a Super Bowl preview. Rams at Ravens. Doesn't look so much like it now, does it? And so I hope the Rams can continue to extend Baltimore's trouble. Now, I don't know if Lamarless will be back or not, but Baltimore's got issues. Why they're not running with Derrick Henry, I don't understand it. And whether or not Lamarless will be there or not remains to be seen, but the Baltimore defense has been getting put up on. So I thought the Rams could beat them damn Niners, and then I thought they'd probably take an L in Baltimore. Now, I hope, since they lost to them damn Niners, they can avenge it and get the win in Baltimore. And then that gets them back on the winning track. And then the following week, it's Jacksonville in jolly old England. Pip, pip, chitty-o. So Jacksonville, though, they just whooped the Chiefs, KC. And so Jacksonville is 4-1, and that's a McWonder acolyte down there, Liam Cohen. And so he's right off the McWonder tree. So that'll be 2 games from now. But next at Baltimore, and then they go across the pond. And so I'm hoping that my initial prediction of 5-2 at the bye will still be a reality. But time will tell. We'll just have to see. But at this point, what I'm going to now ask from you, what I need for you to do is throw me one of these, please. Like this epic video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. And until the next one, which you know will not be long from this one, because we will be back on the other side of the Baltimore Ravens game, and we will chop that up. And so until then, my friends, Scotty says, thank you for watching. One love.